Hello, hello. Is anybody there? I'm just checking my phone to see if it's working on the phone. If you're here, say hello. Oh, I got two people watching. Maybe one of them is me on my iPhone. Gosh. Uh, let's see. Toby Nets. Are you live, Toby? Yeah, okay, it looks like it. Alex is here. Hello, Rebecca's here. Oh, good, good, good. We got some people in. Good. I just had wanted to make sure that it's on. Good. So it is. Okay, now I can put my phone down. Have you got your cup of tea? Who else is here? Emily's here. Hello, darling. Oh, Rebecca, you're in Oklahoma. Oh, that's awesome. What's the weather like there? It's freezing here. Freezing today. I'm in Canada. Can you all hear me good enough, by the way? I don't even know how loud I've got this. I could probably make it louder. Is that better? Hannah's here. Oh, hi. Unfortunately, oh no, your fabric didn't arrive in time. Oh, Rebecca. I'm not. Can hear fine. Okay, good, good. I wasn't sure because I haven't got my other thing on. So we're all ready. Now I know Alex has started hers already because she's in England and I'm in Canada, and I'm pretty sure they got their clue before us. Well, she was up before me this morning because, 5-hour difference and all that stuff. So I've got my bag ready. It's all in here. And I wanted to show you something that I did that I thought was really super cool. So as you know, I make my own project bags, right? And I sell them in my Etsy shop. They're just for cross stitch at the minute. I do make other bags, but I can't be bothered right now. I'm quite happy making these. But one of the things I've done is I went to Canadian Tire. What would that be for people in England? A hardware shop. I don't even know. And I got these. These are key for putting on keys, key rings, key tags, and they're blank. And so I have just written on it. If I can get that to stand the way I want it, there we go. What's in the bag? Now, to me, it's obvious what's in the bag because it's Robin's. But as I later on reuse the bags for other purposes, it may be another Christmas item, but not the Robin SAL. So and I use a pen that you can erase. Yeah, a pen that you erase. And I'll just erase that and put the new project name on. But that way, when they're all in a pile in my box, I can grab it and see what they are. Not a good idea? So yeah, just go to whoever does key making. What do you call that? Key making? That's not a word. Key making. Key cutting. Then you're good to go. Okay, so we have our fabric. I got the linen, and I have put all my edges with zigzags so they won't fray. It still will fray, but it won't fray as bad, and it won't fray to the past the zigzags. And then I've got my floss bitty bag ready. Put that right there, and my hoop, because I like to use a hoop. They do suggest in the instructions a frame, and I do have one, but I just really like holding the hoop, and I like the feel of fabric draped over my hand. I know, weird. And I've got my threads, and I've got my little bag, which has got my scissors, my needle, and I made a little, I think that's an owl. Yeah, it's an L. I made a little needle minder. So, first thing is, oh, isn't this lovely? The first thing I have to do is on my tablet, I use Markup RXP, thanks to Alex, who told me all about that. And I don't know where my life has been without it. I really don't. So I've got it all set up in there. And the first color I am going to use is the border that we're going to do, which is the Y, and there's tons of Y. So I'm just going to get my needle threaded first, and then find where to start. Now, typically I start, I've always started my cross stitch in the dead center, and then I work up my design to the top left-hand corner. Work out all the top left-hand corner, then I move to the right, then I come down, and I do it that way. I've only once or twice started from the top left-hand corner, like right. Not very often do I do that. But I'm going to today because I'm going to trust in Historical Sampler Society, who sent me this fabric. And they told me to start in the top corner, at what point to start. So I'm assuming they've left me enough edges. So here's that. Let me put my needle there. It's ready. Oh, it's so exciting. And I forgot completely now. So yell out if anybody can remember how far down we're supposed to go. Was it 9 centimeters? Well, I think I should go and look in the email. Was it 9 centimeters? 6 centimeters. Oh, thank God you're listening. You're here, because I would have gone 9. Oh, untwist your set. Rose is here. Hello, Rose, hon. She's a new podcaster I've just started watching. And yeah, if you have, now we all know that Emily Makes has a podcast. Alex, my Yarny Corner, has a podcast, and Rose has a podcast. Please, down in the comments, leave me a link, or leave a link to your floss tubes so everybody else can watch it too. Because, hey, why not? Let's share it all. And the way I stitch, it doesn't work to stitch down. Oh, are you in hand? I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is. KS. Don't know. Do you stitch in hand? Because I stitch with a hoop. Okay, so 6 centimeters. So I've got my handy dandy little thing, and I've got my, do you have any of these? These are to count stitches with. Aren't they sweet? My friend Diana made these for me. So what we do is we're going to go down 6 centimeters. Now, I did try the overhead camera for y'all, and the feedback was horrendous. So I decided not to bother with the overhead camera. I'm not very techy. And so there's 6 there. Let me stick that in. So there's my 6 down. So I stick it in like that. Now I'm going to do 6 across and see where that brings me. So now I have to move my sticky thing to there. So that there should be 6 down and 6 across. All right. So here is where I have, Diane's here. Hi, hon. So I'm 6 down and 6 across, and we are doing it portrait for anybody that wants to know, not landscape. Should be portrait. Oh, thank you. And yeah, catch the replay, Diane. That's lovely. Thanks, hon. Oh, Suzanne's here too. Hey. So there's where I'm going to start. So now what I do is I take this and we'll count to where the actual stitches will start. Because if you look at the chart, and of course I can't show you the chart, if you look at the chart, we don't start right at that spot. We have to count over a little bit. So let me get my chart up, and how many am I counting over before I start? And then I will put my hoop on. Once I've got my first stitch in, using my gold needle. Who does not love a gold needle? Yes, let me see. Suzanne also has a podcast, Distance Stitches. Okay, so I need to go over 7. So let me count over 7. And this is linen. So it's 2 over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am going to start there. So now I can put my hoop on. What to do with my hoop? This hoop, by the way, was my mother's. My mother used to do embroidery. I can do it. I don't love it. I don't always get my stitches the right length, or when you're doing some of the particular things. But this was hers, and she passed away 10 years ago. And this is what has got me onto using wooden hoops again, because I dug it out for another project. And stay in there, you stay in there. I got it out for another project and fell in love with using it, because I used scroll frames. I've used plastic hoops, like all kinds of stuff. But I need to go over a bit there. But I just love this. And it's very gentle, I find, on the fabric. Yes, I take it off every night after I've finished stitching. But it's just a lovely little, it just gently, I feel like the wooden hoops gently hug the fabric. I do. All right, so let's get going. I've been so excited to start this. I really have. So excited. Well, let me put my little guy here on. So, okay, let's take this out and put that in. Here we go. The first stitch. The first stitch. Oh, it's always so lovely to do the first stitch. How many stitches have you guys gone on? Because obviously I had to wait till we got started today with this. And so I was working on something else earlier, but I've been dying to start this. Isn't the fabric gorgeous? Now, did you get any of you get the kit, or did you get your own fabric? And what choice of fabric did you have? This is was it sage green linen? Oh, that's so nice. Emily's doing it through. I know you can't do everything, right? It's so hard to do. Like, I'm not doing the Stephen West shawl this year knitting because I have too many shawls already. And so I decided to watch through Emily. And Emily, yours is gorgeous. You are putting me into a little bit of FOMO, but to me, there's too many stitches on the needle. It hurts my hands when there's that many. Wait now. I'm sitting in front of the window, so I should have good light here. Yeah, no, okay. No, that's not the right spot. You went over. Sorry. Seeing the top of my head here. Yeah, I'm sitting in the window, so I will be distracted. As you all know, when I'm sitting in front of my window. There we go. Once I get stitching on linen, I can easily see where I'm going, but it takes the first couple of stitches. Does that happen to you? Before I can figure out where the next stitch is going to go quite easily. And yeah, so I'm not doing the Stephen West, but I did start another mystery stitch. Ah, mark off where I am so I can see. So how was everybody's Thanksgiving that had one? Rose said, I just got the PDF and my fabric is gray with white polka dots. Oh, that's going to be so cool. It'll have like a frosty feel to it. 32 count linen. I love linen. My other project that I'm working on, my other mystery, is okay, shall I go across or shall I go back down? I'll keep going across. Is Jubilee even weave, a 32 count, I think it is. 28 count. Oh, it's your first time using linen. Just be gentle with yourself. The first time, like I said, the first couple of stitches, you'll be like, oh, it's hard to tell where I'm going. But after a little bit, it'll get so easy. And I find it's just nicer than Ada. Ada has a thick, hard quality to it, and linen is just soft and melts around your hand. Like, I love it. And like I said, after a bit, you start to see where your stitches are going, and it's much easier, I find. Um, yeah, so today is actually Thanksgiving here in Canada. Um, ours is now in England. I think you used to call it Harvest Festival. It's why we're thankful that the farmers have brought all the crops in, and in our case, that the Pilgrims made it over to Canada from England in one piece. In the US, it's in November because they had further to go. But so yeah, so it's Thanksgiving. So we had the family over. What was funny was, well, maybe it wasn't that funny. Um, the day before, my daughter-in-law's brother was getting married. And so the kids, Tristan and Evie, Tristan's 4, Evie's 2, were in the bridal party. So they had to be there. And it was a 45-minute drive from our house, and which was, you know, okay on a good day. But at 8 o'clock at night when they're tired and, I was a bit worried. I was a bit nervous because we went and picked him up so that my son and his wife could enjoy the rest of the wedding, and they had booked a hotel room, and we brought the kids back with us. And Abby fell asleep immediately in the car, so that was easy. I just carried her in when we got home, put her to bed, pulled off her jacket. She already had her pajamas on, pulled off her shoes. She was gone. Tristan, however, decided he needed a midnight feast. So we had to, we let him stay up about half an hour longer because, like, we didn't get home till 9 o'clock. So I let him stay up a bit, half an hour, gave him some cheese. I gave him one of them string cheeses, right? So I said to him, you eat this and a couple of little crackers, and then you're going to help some more milk, and then you're going to bed. Okay, Nana. So he sits there and he's minutely peeling bits of the cheese. I said, hurry up. You're going to bed. Like, like, eat your cheese. Okay, Nana. So anyway, so that was fine. That was lovely. Well, so off they go to bed. He goes to bed, falls asleep right away. And I'm thinking, oh, great. It's like 9:30 by the time he's gone to bed. She went to bed at 9. They'll sleep in. Can I just say, 4:30 in the morning is an ungodly hour to be woken up by a squeaky toy that is your dog's. Yes. The two of them are standing there in my room. It's dark in my room, but I'd left the hall light on for them. And they're standing there squeaking a toy in my ear. 4:30. was not happy. So I rushed back off to bed. Of course, Ev starts crying right away. So I ended up bringing her into our bed. But Tristan was good. He went back to sleep. And then they were both up at, I don't know, 7:30. So then I had to cook the dinner because we had their mom and dad, my son and his wife over, and my brother-in-law and his wife. So it was so lovely to have a fabulous dinner. Oh my God. Mashed potatoes were amazing. I cooked them, but I still think they were amazing. It's how you mash them and what you put in when you mash them. I always put sour cream in mine and milk and butter. It makes a world of difference. Try it. So yeah, so we did that. We had the kids and all day until my son arrived, and yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Of course, they follow me everywhere. Ev follows me to the bathroom. I'm trying to go to the bathroom. She follows me to the bathroom. Nana, don't shut the door. I'm like, Nana has to shut the door. Might be back right now. Don't shut the door. She went off somewhere, then comes back. So I did shut the door, just by the by, but I didn't lock it, obviously. Rose says, the year my husband and I got married, it was Canada Thanksgiving weekend, was the 8th of October. We did not know, and our honeymoon in Lethbridge, Alberta was a bit quiet. We lived across the border in Montana. Oh, how lovely. Yeah, because there would be no shops open. You can't do anything, right? Can't go anywhere. But, oh, that's so nice. I should count. I'm not really counting. I'm just doing the big long bit. So I'm not really counting at the moment. I'm just, because I'll go all one way with half across and then I'll come all the way back. When it's a small little stitch, like up there, I just did them as one full cross. Oh, threw my needle out the way then. Just one full. But when there's a row of them, I typically like to go all the way there and all the way back. Just makes the back neat. I'm all about keeping my back neat. But I really should count. I'm not counting. I should count. Because I need to do some more of those little top bits. So how many of us in here today are doing this stitch along? How many? Because we've got 15 watching. So how many are stitching along? I know Rose is. I know Alex is. And I know Sue is. You're not counting either. Oh my gosh. I know. We should have a little count session in a minute to just see where we're up to. That's the trouble. And that's what I like about when you go in a row, like when you're doing your row across, all in one way. So when you're coming back Hannah is good. When you're coming back the other way, you don't have to worry about counting them because you've already got there. You're just finishing off the stitch. So that's another reason. So you can watch TV or you can chat, right? And it's still, I got to count now. I'm sorry. Let me move this over. So it's 8, 10, 20, 23. Maybe I should get as far as the 23 before I go back. Okay, now I have to count. 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. I'll do another to make it an even number. Okay. So let me tell you about the other one that I found. And I was watching a lady, the Sleepy Stitcher, I think is her YouTube channel. and she is in Japan. She's an American and she's in Japan. I feel like her husband is in the military or something, because I think she said they've been posted there for a couple of years now. Oh, Rebecca, you're knitting. Oh, that's okay. Any kind of, craft while we're just sitting here chatting is fine by me. Knitting, crochet. I found a really nice crochet pattern I want to do. Okay, look, stop. And you're getting out of control here. We're supposed to be counting. Let's go back. Okay, I think I'm there, up to there. I think that's where I am. I'm up to there, I think. Yeah, so the crochet pattern is a ghost. It's a little ghost. It looks ridiculously adorable. So I'm going to stitch that, crochet that. And actually that was from, I found the pattern through Jeanette of Crafty Clegs. She made one. Yes, Hannah, I'm doing the murder mystery SAL as well. Oh, are you doing that one too? So anyway, I'll tell you about that now, seeing as I've already started. It's today released the third weekly installment. And what it is it's a Victorian murder mystery cross stitch. So you can sign up for it, and they send you to this website which gives you all the clues and stories. It's really well done. And the stories about this girl who, in the Victorian times, had joined a stitching society. And she was going, and there was a couple of girls that she knew, a couple of ladies that she knew. And she was just, they're stitching each week. Anyway, long story short, she gets murdered. And you have to choose between the cook, the lady of the house, or the something made. It's not the parlor maid. Could be the parlor maid. Anyway, a servant. Which character you are, because the story, and you get a story each week. You get like a chapter, let's say, of this story, and it's geared to which character you are. And the clues in the story are for you to find, and in the cross stitch. So I watched to see it, and this is where I saw it on that Seattle Stitchers thing. So I looked at that and I thought, well, have I got time to catch up? It's for 6 weeks. And when I looked at the first clue, I thought, I can do that. That won't take very long. And it didn't. It took me yesterday, and I did clue 1 already. And do you want to see clue 1? I have a picture. I can show you a picture of clue 1. It's super easy. It's super lovely. That's clue 1. Is that not cute? It's 5 colors. You can follow her colors, or I picked my own colors. And then clue 2, I started this morning while I was waiting for this to start. And I've almost finished clue 2. So they're very quick. But it's fun because, like I said, you get to try to work out what's happened in the story. You get to be the detective through your character. And then when it's actually finished, you can then go back and read the other characters to see how that one, it's like having 3 short stories. I mean, they're not long stories by any chance. They're not pages and pages, but it's a really nice story. And then in the background, like I think we got it in number 2. I don't think it was in number 3. There's like an extra puzzle you can do. And the extra puzzle is the story of the woman who's died, or been murdered, I should say. So it's a lot of fun, because you know me. I love a murder mystery. I love reading murder books. I love mystery sew-alongs and stitch-alongs, and MCALs. I love them all, right? I can't resist. I really can't resist. And then Alex was talking about one on her podcast this morning. Another one. I might have to do that one. What was that one called again, Alex? Can you put it in the things? The one that I'm doing is stitchingly.com. I'll put that in the, if I can find, let me see if I can find that's the one I just put in the comments, the one I'm doing, which is it's called Threads of Deceit. And yeah, what's the one you mentioned today, Alex? Because I was watching your podcast right before I came to do this. And what was yours? The one you were talking about. It's a 6-month one. Because, like, I'm just a glutton for stuff like that. I just love, I love knowing what I'm stitching, obviously, but I really love mysteries. I really do. So, and it's the fun of them, you know? So wait now, was it Hannah? Hannah, are you doing it? And if you are, which character are you? And oh, sorry, I didn't see Carmen is here from Belgium. Oh, lovely. She only knits, but I like to listen. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You just come on in and have a cup of tea. Make sure you got your cup of tea, though. And this is a biscuit one because we'll be here an hour. I didn't do my knitting podcast today because I was so tired from having the kids all day yesterday and then doing the big turkey dinner. I got up this morning and I thought, oh, I don't think I want to do it. So if I feel like I have energy this afternoon, I will record it and put it up for tomorrow. And then, of course, on Wednesday, we'll have a floss tube. And I can tell you more about the stuff I've worked on this week. Oh, you should see my angel. Oh. Okay, so I've made my way back. So I better mark these off. Anybody else use Markup RXP? It's for iPad. I'm not sure if you can use it for Android, but I do know that, okay, now I'm going to just, okay, so I've done my row here and I need to start up here. Oh, I'm trying to show you this. Try it that way. I need to get up here, but my stitch is over here at the end. So I'm going to just travel up the back under the stitches. And I just undid my needle. As you do when you're trying to show somebody something. So I'm traveling up the back. Like that. Can you see? I've just traveled up the back of the stitches. So now when I do stitch the one here, there's no big line of thread going from where I was to where I need to be. So it looks nice in the back. Let's see, because now I'm there and there's no big gangly piece of yarn across. So yeah, so now I'll just do these little bumpy bits here. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so we have Carmen from Belgium, which is good. Suzanne is doing hers, 2/2, and I'm doing 1/1. Ripping out. Like I said, I never did 10. No, and it was in the instructions, honey. I know her, she does not read anything. She just goes right for it. "Oh, Hannah, you're not yet destroying." Oh, I know, it's really super hard to, there's so many things I wanna stitch, it's ridiculous. There's not enough time in the day, and then there's the knitting and the crochet and the blinking quilting. I mean, look at that up there, I'm still hadn't got any further with that. Rose said I had to change the border color, the white was not oh, right. What about a gray? Gray might look nice. Um, yeah, try gray, that might work. And then Alex said, "It's a needle." Oh, okay, let me there. So Alex said, "It's by Needle Lock Designs and called the Secret Grove SAL." I really love the sound of it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I am sure I saw something about that somewhere else. Some mentioned, I don't know, it was on Instagram I am quite sure I've seen that before somewhere and thought, "Oh, that's kind of cool." Um, so I'll look at it. I'll go look at it. And it's on Etsy. I'm almost positive I've seen it somewhere else. Rose was tempted by the murder mystery one, but just couldn't fit it in. I know. There's so much to to stitch, you know? And when you're doing stuff like this as well, um, oh, that looked like a Start Skin Hutch car. You know that orange sports car type thing? Don't look like that. Just went by. Um, when you're doing all these styles, you got to keep on top of them. But I stitch every afternoon on one thing or another. And I'm trying to only have 5. Well, it was supposed to be 4, or was it 3? Current whips, and, now it's morphed up to 5 or 6, I think. But, they're all gonna be done, right? This is only how many weeks is this? Is this 6? I think this is only 6 weeks. The other one I'm doing is 6 weeks, and that's already halfway through. So, I think they're doable. I think so. There's that one there. Yes. So, I think they're doable. And they're fun because they're just small pieces. They're just small little bits to do, and you feel accomplished by especially with samplers like this, you feel accomplished when you do that first little design and it's done, and you're like, "Ooh, I've done a design." So that's kind of good. Um, I'm just trying to see what all the messages I haven't been watching the messages. Andrea's here. Hello. Um, And Hannah said, "I'm not doing it. It sounds fun, but I realize that there's no way I would have time to do it." I know. It's hard to fit in, which is all the advents I've got coming and all that I'm going to be doing. Andrew said, "For the murder mystery, I would want to sew 3-1 from each character." What does that mean? I would want to, I don't know what you meant there. Hannah said, "I used it and it was a game changer." Oh, yeah, markup RXP. Me too. I never used it before. I always used to photocopy charts and then in pencil, right, and I fold the chart up and balance it on the end of my hoop or my frame or something. And Alex told me about this, and it was like, my goodness, why had I never ever? And I'd never been one to count stitches. And when I'd see people in the floss tubes saying like, "Oh, I got 500 stitches and on this," and I was like, "How do they know? How do they count 500 like, do they sit and count while they're stitching?" Like, I obviously didn't realize that there was a software program to do that. So now I'm kind of like, "Oh, I got 400 stitches done today. Oh, I got this done today." And I love that you can have a little, because I'm so visual, that you can have a little, um, you can go into the stats and you can see how much that week you've stitched on that one project. I love that. I really do. So, yeah, it's definitely a game changer. Um, Suzanne said, yeah, Alex showed it to me. I got an old iPad from my daughter to use it. Oh, perfect. So it doesn't work on Android then at all? But I think Pattern Maker is similar, right? And that's Android. And that's not available for, I don't believe, iPad. And a few other apps, shush woman. I am working down the left border. Ooh, you're doing the left board down. Okay, I'm going across. You're going down. That's cool. And Suzanne is used to Ada, just muscle memory. Yeah, and once, like when I first started cross stitching, I was 17, and there was only Ada that I could remember, and I used to buy kits all the time. I very rarely bought thread and fabric. It was always a kit, dimensions or whatever it was, British kits, because I was still in England at that time. And then when I came to Canada, I was 25. I married when I was 30. And to a Canadian. And then we had the two boys, and I needed a little part-time job. So I found, to my utter amazement, that they had a cross stitch shop in Ottawa. And we were living in Ottawa at the time. So I went and got a job in the cross stitch cupboard, it was called. And man, I loved that place. And that's where I learned about linen, because we had it on the boat and they would sell a fat quarter. And then there was all the beautiful like lavender and lace and mirabilia and patterns, and then all of the floss. And she sold a lot of just patterns and not kits. So it was lovely to start collecting. And so I have 2 full boxes of floss now on the little bobbins, which I love. I don't like floss drops because, again, I like to see neatly ordered and in a row my colors so I can choose. So that's how I got into linen and even weaves. Like I love Jubilee, I love Lugana, like stuff like that. So it's nice to see it. So Andrea said, I would want to do one from the point of view of each character. Oh, right now I get what you're saying. That makes more sense. Yeah. And oh, we have a Daniel here. Hi, and it's Danny. Oh, Danny. From listening while playing computer. Have a great life. Stay safe and take it easy. Oh, thank you, hon. Thank you. I'm a bit sad there's no football this weekend. I was kind of like, you know, I have to wait till next weekend. And then, of course, as usual, there'll be F1 and football all at the same time. So if none of you know, because I'm from Liverpool, I support Liverpool. And so does Danny. I never knew that was your last name, Danny. That's so funny. So is all in and 2/2. Not all, no, it depends on the count size, because what you want to do is you don't want gaping holes in it. So the higher the count, I know it is, Danny, I know mine too. The higher the count, then the smaller your stitches you want, and then you would be 1/1, like on a 40 count. I never do that though. Like my favorite is a 32 count, which is 16 count if it was Ada, or 28 count, which is 14 count if it was Ada. So yeah, that's kind of good. I'm quite happy with our start too, Danny. We have a really good start. And I'm kind of liking Slot. I really am. Kind of like him. Although I am a bit worried about Trent. He's my favorite player. And he never looks happy these days. He never smiles. And I think he hates it when they pull him off. And I think I might need to talk to him because, yeah, but I love Trent. He's my favorite. And what's all this about? What's the name? Getting a red card. That's really annoying too. Okay, so need to know my stuff for stitch. No, don't worry. I'll show you all. I can show you all that stuff, and you know, next time you come over. When are you coming over again? I don't remember. Rose says, Suzanne, you can do 2/2 or 1/1 island. Yeah, again, it depends. I think on your size, how big, and because when you're doing 1/1, it makes it smaller than if you're doing 2/2. I personally prefer 2/2 because I like the definition of the stitch. And also, if there are lots of half stitches, which sometimes there are, like around eyes or when they're trying to do a shaping, then you've got that extra hole for your half a stitch. So, if that makes sense. So that's why I prefer 2/2. And like I say, I don't like the minute. I think some people that are doing full coverage do 1/1 because you're fully covering the fabric. But again, I think those people do as a higher fabric count. I feel, but I could be wrong. Okay, no date. Okay, yeah, Suzanne, who's actually also a friend of Alex's, she lives in Quebec, and I live this. I'm in Ontario. She's in Quebec, but we're like on the borders from each other. And so we try to get together once a month and stitch or knit. And I don't drive, so at all. Never, I did try once to learn. Okay, that's not right. That's not right. See, I'm talking too much. I'm not paying attention. There. It's only 3 stitches. It was easy to pull that out. Yeah, I don't drive. Never did learn to drive, even in England. I had a motorbike. Um, for a while, but I never really kind of got into the whole. And of course, the cars in England, they have like 3 pedals, and I could never remember what each one did. So that's kind of annoying if you're trying to learn to drive. And then in Canada, everything's automatic, so there's just 2 pedals, a stop and a go. So I thought I would try to learn when the boys, my youngest, who's now, so Andrew's 35, he lives in the next village with Evie and Tristan, and because we live in a village, they live in a little town. It's a small town, but ours is actually a village. It's very small. And my other son, Sean, is in Nova Scotia, and he, with his wife and 2 kids, and Leo, the lovely Leo, is 3 in December, and Sonny will be 1 in November. And when Sean was 16, I thought I should learn to drive because it looks a bit silly that their mom can't drive. And you've got to remember when I grew up in England, there's buses all the time, everywhere you go, trains, like used to get the trains into Liverpool. I mean, it was just right there. Not a tube. It wasn't underground. Oh, Bob's home. It wasn't underground or nothing. It was above ground, but it was train because Liverpool's such a big city. So you could get the train. And so I never learned to drive. And then when I came to Canada, I lived in Ottawa. Again, buses everywhere. And then I met Bob and he drives. So I didn't need to drive. So I thought I better learn to drive. So Bob took me to the school so that I could learn to drive. I made this really little old nasty neon car. So it didn't matter if it got, bent out of shape, kind of. Anyway, so we went and I was fine in the parking lot. I was really good. And then Toby was just on the floor here. She's her daddy. So I learned how in the parking lot was great. So we drove home. So as we get home, we get near to our house, and it's like you could fit 2 cars back to back in the driveway. We lived in a little subdivision at the time that had like 4 houses all joined together. And so I keep picking this up and not actually sipping it. So we pulled in to our driveway and I stopped and I was like, I'm thrilled. I managed to drive from the school to our house on roads with other cars. This is okay. So he said to me, pull up, you're too far down the driveway. So I did, into the garage door that was shut. So I got out of the car. I left it running. Don't even know if I put it in park. Got out of the car, walked into the house, and I've never tried to drive again. So that's my driving story. And I have, like I said, up until that point, I had 2 boys that were able to drive me around and a husband, so I didn't need to. So yeah, the only trouble is now, of course, as I don't drive, it's hard if I want to go somewhere with friends or, like I always have to say, oh, you'll have to come and pick me up, or can you come to my house instead? Because it's like Bob works shift work, so I have to make sure he's not working if I need him to drive me over to go back to see Sue. So yes, that's that. Rose says, I like over 2 because I can use 2 threads. Yes, and it equals up to my Ada measurements easier. Yes, and it's much easier to do the half stitches. You're right. So yes, I like that. You want to come and say hello, Bob?
You want me to sneeze? Or say
No,
hello?
I do not want you to sneeze.
I haven't stopped sneezing all day.
Okay, say hello to everybody.
Hello, Bob.
Oh dear. So yeah, so today we're taking it easy after the melee of yesterday with the kids. There's some baseball on this afternoon, so I think I'm going to watch that. Just finish my stitches on the back. And there is my very first thread. That's what I've got so far. Ooh, it's so cute. I just love this fabric too. And the cream. Ooh. So yes, that's my story for driving. I think I might knot these. I don't like when they're just loosey-goosey on here like that. But I do like that you can just pull it off without taking it off. So we're nearly up to the hour, my darlings. I haven't had a nap today. Oh, might have to have a nap. I love having naps every afternoon now. I don't know. Because, of course, I can. I'm retired, I can. And it used to affect me when I used to try to nap during the day when I did work, when I was off or on a weekend, and I wasn't able to sleep that night. I couldn't fall asleep. But since, does that look right? Yeah. Yeah. Since I've been retired, I can still sleep at nighttime as well, which is really good. But I do enjoy napping. Okay, that doesn't. Yeah, that is right. Yes. So anyway, I think I'm going to let you guys go and keep working on this. Oh. And then I'll be back. And thank you so much for joining me for today. This has been fabulous having you guys all keep me company while I get started. Oh, I can hear the chip packet going. He just went out to get new tires for my son's car because we're going to need to put the winter tires on soon. You don't have that in England, do you? We literally have 2 different types of tires for the cars because when the snow starts, you need winter tires. And the snow will start probably. Another funny old car. It must have been a car show today in the village. When the snow starts, it'll probably be November, and it will be with us till March. And it will just pile up and pile up and pile up and get very cold. So you need to have special tires on the car so that you don't slip and slide everywhere. Okay, I am done. I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you so, so much for joining me today for this little hour of stitchy fun. It's been a lot of fun. Anybody get any questions before I go? It was, wasn't it, Rose? I should do this more often. I don't often do lives anymore because I've usually got that much I want to show, and it's hard. I can't put pictures unless I do a slideshow. Oh, I think you can do that on this and present stuff. I'll have to look into that because often there's pictures I want to show you of something or where it was before. You're welcome, Emily. I'm so glad you stopped by, and you too, Hannah. Yeah, I hope you get your fabric soon, but we got 2 weeks till the next clue, so you got loads of time to catch up, and just keep watching all the podcasts. That's what I keep doing. That's probably not a good idea, though, because that's when I end up doing more and more projects because I see theirs and I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. Anyway, I love you and leave you. Thank you so much once again for watching. I am thrilled to bits you came, and I'll see you Wednesday. I might, if I have the energy, put up a knitting podcast tomorrow, but if not, I will definitely have a new floss tube up on Wednesday. Oh, you came in late, Gina. Oh, okay. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.